You asked for parts for your dent side, we heard you.
Hey, I'm Jesse with QA1. Damien and I have a 74 F100 in the shop today. We're going to be ditching the leaf springs, installing our new 73 to 79 rear torque arm suspension with coilovers. What do you say, Damien?
Let's get to it. This truck's been modified a little bit with shackles and hangers to lower it. It does have traction bars on it as well. We're going to go ahead and eliminate the leaf springs, the traction bars, factory shocks, bolt in the new torque arm rear suspension to help improve traction on this truck, get the ride height down, and improve the drivability.
Now that we have the axle out of the vehicle, we can remove the leaf springs. Like Damien mentioned earlier, this one does have Caltrax on it, so this may differ from yours. We are going to mount this where we can mount our trailing arms and our coilover shocks in the back. In order to do that, we will modify the spring perches. This axle will get our optional sway bars, so we will need to remove the factory shock mounts as well.
Almost ready to put the frame bracket on. This includes the rear shock mount bracket, our Watts link bracket, and our trailing arm bracket, as well as the C-notch. First thing that we need to do though, use the included template, and Mark can cut the frame. I've got our cut line marked. These two holes are factory holes in the frame. Some of the later trucks do have a bracket riveted there, so the rivets will have to be cut off in order to get those lined up. And then this flange here needs to be cut off just at the inside of the bend so the frame bracket fits up tight. Jesse and I have the side brackets installed on the frame for mounting our trailing arms, C-notch, and the rear coilover shocks. Once we've got that done, we can get a measurement from the front mounting hole on the side bracket to the cross member and get that installed. We've got that done already. It's a pretty simple install. Drill a couple holes after you measure and get everything located. There are two different cross members depending on whether you have a short box or a long box truck. So make sure you order the correct kit to get the correct cross member for that. With that, we can get the rear end finished up, get the torque arm bracket installed, torque arm on, and get our rear axle back in the truck.
Finishing up on the rear axle, we'll be installing the torque arm and Watts link mount. This uses existing locations on your third member. The big trick with this one is to remember to bolt it together very loosely until you get everything installed and then start tightening stuff up.
The major assembly is done on the axle, frame brackets are in, torque arms in. We've got the trailing arms hung in here. We're gonna hang the shocks, wheel the axle underneath the truck, and then we'll lower it down and get the axle hung back underneath the truck. We've got the axle back in the truck. We've got a couple small details to work on. We've got a link that helps support the front of the torque arm that we've got to drill a couple holes for in the frame bracket. To do that, we'll mount this thing, swing it into place. And we'll just mark the frame right here and drill some holes. To provide lateral support and make sure the axle stays centered underneath the truck, we need to install our Watts link. This is the pivot for it. We'll have a couple swedge tubes that go on here. We can get those adjusted and center the axle up. The last part that we have to install is the optional rear sway bar. Easiest way to do this is hang the end links from the frame brackets first, hang the bar, and then swing the bar up into place and clamp it onto the axle. We have our dent side rear suspension install pretty well wrapped up. We do need to reconnect the rear brake line, reinstall the drive shaft, bleed the rear brakes. We've got the back of the truck sitting at about a 4-inch drop right now. The kit is capable of 4 to 7 inches of drop, and that's a nice complement to our front suspension for these trucks. For more information on our 73 to 79 F100 front and rear suspension, check us out at qa1.net and go drive it.